can see that comes to L. Therefore, I will write L is equal to mu naught n square h upon 2 pi log to the base e b by a. That is the expression for coefficient of self-inductance of a toroid having rectangular cross section. Is that clear to you, sir? All these are very important. As you can see here, we have taken Ampere's circuital law to find out what is the magnetic field and the magnetic flux linked to the elementary surface. Then we have calculated what is the flux linked with one turn, then total flux, then equated with phi is equal to Li. We end up with the expression for coefficient of self-inductance. Is that okay to you? Now, if that is clear to you, let me rub this off to go into the next topic for discussion, which is mutual induction. Let me rub this off, sir. In self-inductance, I said when current flowing through a coil changes and opposing induced EMF is produced in the same coil, phenomenon is known as self-induction. In mutual induction, when electric current passing through one coil changes and opposing induced EMF is produced in the neighboring coil. The induced EMF produced in the neighboring coil will be there so long as changes in the other current, changes in the current in the previous circuit is there. This phenomenon by which an opposing induced EMF is produced in one coil, when a current in the neighboring coil changes, the phenomenon is known as mutual induction. As in the previous case, we have seen phi is equal to Li for self-inductance. In the case of mutual inductance, I will write this as equal to Mi. Is that okay to you? Is that okay to you? And induced EMF is minus d phi, if I write it as magnetic flux, d phi b by dt, I can write this as minus m di by dt. Because there are two coils placed close to each other, current will be flowing in one coil, opposing induced EMF will be produced in the other coil. I can be more specific. I will write this as I will write this M21 is equal to, which means mutual inductance of coil 2 with respect to coil 1. E2 by di1 by dt. Finish. Or I can also write M12 is equal to minus E1 upon di2 by dt. Is that okay to you, sir? Is that okay to you? This can also be written as M21 is equal to N2 phi21 by I1. Mutual inductance of coil 2 with respect to 1. Phi21 is the flux per turn of coil 2 and a current of I1 amps is flowing in coil 1. I repeat, mutual inductance of coil 2 with respect to 1. This is equal to N2, the total number of turns in coil 2. Phi21 is flux per turn of coil 2 when a current of I1 amps is flowing in coil 1. Is that okay to you, sir? Now, if a solenoid coaxial with each other are given and you are asked to find out what is the expression for coefficient of self-inductance, how to do it. That's what we are going to discuss now. Okay? I can also explain to you how to define coefficient of mutual inductance from that. I will tell you that. From this expression, we can define coefficient of mutual inductance. Coefficient of mutual inductance of coil 2 with respect to coil 1 is equal to the opposing induced EMF produced in coil 2 when rate of change of current in coil 1 is 1 amp per second. In this expression, if di1 by dt is 1 amp per second, then M21 will become minus E2. How do I define that? Mutual inductance of coil 2 with respect to 1 is equal to opposing induced EMF produced in coil 2 when the rate of change of current in coil 1 is 1 amp per second. Is that okay to you, sir? If that is okay to you, I would like to proceed with expression for mutual inductance between two coils. Okay? Let me first draw a diagram. Okay. Then I will draw the axis. Let us say that is the axis. These are the turns of the outer solenoid. Okay, and inner solenoid, I will draw it in green color. These are the turns of the solenoid, inner solenoid. Okay, now let us take it here. Let this area of cross section be A2, area of cross section be A1, number of turns in the outer solenoid N1, number of turns in the inner solenoid N2, and this is where I take, and from here to here, let me take the length as L. Is that okay to you, sir? What does the diagram tell us? I will let you know beautifully. We are considering two solenoids coaxial with one another. Number of turns in the outer solenoid, capital N1, total number of turns. Total number of turns in the inner solenoid, N2. I have taken this, mark these lines. To take the total length of both these solenoids coaxial to each other is L. A1 is the area of cross section. A1 of the outer solenoid. A2 is the area of cross section of the inner solenoid. Let N1 and N2 be the turn density of the solenoids. When I say N1 and N2 as turn density, what I mean is the number of turns per unit length. N1 is capital N1 upon L. N2 is capital N2 upon L. Finish. That is what I mean by saying N1 and N2 are the turn densities. Let me say I1 is the current flowing through solenoid 1. I1, this is solenoid 1, inner solenoid is solenoid 2. I1 is the current flowing through the outer solenoid. So when current flows to the outer solenoid, definitely will produce a magnetic field, and the magnetic field produced will be acting along the axis. The magnetic field, due to solenoid 1, I will write it as B1 is equal to mu naught N1 I1. Magnetic field along the axis of solenoid 1, mu naught N1 I1. This magnetic field lines will be passing through the area bounded by solenoid 2. In other words, solenoid 2 is placed in this magnetic field. That's what I mean. This solenoid is producing this much of magnetic field, and the inner solenoid, second solenoid, is placed, is bounded within this magnetic field. Therefore, magnetic flux per turn of solenoid 2. Okay? Magnetic flux per turn phi to 1 is equal to integral B1 vector dot dA vector. This is for an area of A2. This will be B1 into A2. If you expand this, B1 dA cos theta, theta is 0 because B vector and area vector will be parallel to each other. Cos 0 is 1. Therefore, this will become mu naught N1 I1 into A2. That is magnetic flux per turn of solenoid 2. What is the total flux? The total flux linked with N2 turns, N2 phi to 1, this will be equal to N2 into mu naught N1 I1. Is that what I say? Since turn density is N2, I can write N2 as capital N2 by L. Therefore, N2 is small n2 into L. Therefore, I will write this as N2L mu naught N1 I1 A2. Or in other words, this will be mu naught N1 N2 I1 L A2. This will be N2 phi to 1. Is that okay to you, sir? Is that okay to you, sir? If that is okay to you, I'll rub this off. I know N2 521 can also be written as M21 into I1. Okay. So in the place of N251 I can substitute M21 I1 is equal to mu naught N1 N2 L A2 into I1. Therefore I get M21 is mu naught N1 N2 A2 into L. That is the expression for mutual inductance of coil 2 with respect to coil 1. Similarly, we can also derive an expression for coefficient of mutual inductance of coil 1 with respect to coil 2, which means M12. We will also try to derive that. Is this clear to you, sir? This is clear to you. I will rub this portion off to derive an expression for 512. Let me rub this off. Now, when current is flowing through coil 2, magnetic field will be produced due to coil 2. Magnetic field produced due to coil 2. Magnetic field produced due to coil 2. I will write it as V2 is equal to mu naught N2 L2. Is that okay to you, sir? Now flux linked with each turn of solenoid 1. Magnetic flux linked with each turn of solenoid 1. What is that? Phi 12 is the flux per turn of solenoid 1 due to current flowing in coil 2. This is equal to integral B2 vector into dA. I will write this as B2 into A2. If you have been listening very carefully, you would have asked me, sir, in the previous case, you have written B1 into A2 because current was flowing in coil 1. Magnetic field produced due to coil 1, you took it as B1, and the flux, A is A1. A2. In this case, current is flowing in coil 2, so magnetic field produced is B2, no doubt. Why instead of multiplying by A1, you are multiplying by A2? The answer to this question is, in the theory of solenoid, you would have been told that when current flows through a solenoid, magnetic field will be confined within the solenoid. When current is flowing through solenoid 2, magnetic field will be confined within the solenoid. There will be no magnetic field outside this solenoid, and therefore whatever flux you are going to calculate has to be confined only to an area of cross section A2, not A1. That is the reason why I multiplied by A2. Is that clear to you, sir? If that is clear to you, I will substitute for B2. My phi 12 will be mu naught into I2 into A2. Is that clear to you, sir? Is that clear to you? You can also make a note. B2 is confined inside the solenoid. Outside it is almost zero, and therefore the effective area in which the flux will pass is only A2. Therefore, total flux. Total flux will be N1 phi12 N1 mu naught N2 I2 A2. This can be written as N1L into mu naught N2 I2 into A2. This is equal to mu naught N1 N2 A2 into L into I2. Okay, this is N1 phi 12. Following this, you can write phi. Is that okay to you, sir? N1 phi 12 can be written as phi 12 into L. Mutual inductance. Following this. Okay. Therefore, M12 I2 is equal to mu naught N1 N2 A2 L into I2. I2 goes off. Give me M12 is mu naught N1 N2 A2 L. Let us compare this expression with this. If you compare this expression with that, we can conclude M12 is equal to M21 is equal to M is equal to mu naught N1 N2 A to L. Is that okay to you, sir? This is when the space between the two solenoids is filled with air. If the space between the two solenoids is filled with a medium of permeability mu, then this expression will become M is equal to mu N1 N2 A2 L. That is the expression. Is that okay to you, sir? If that is okay to you, we have one more topic to go. We'll also discuss that topic and then wind up. Okay? Shall I rub this off?